What is up everyone, my name is Naomi Gabriel and welcome back to another video of mine. Today I will be reviewing dreadlocks and I'm going to start off with a really good one. This person probably has the most awesome dreadlocks in the game. Her set of locks is so unique and I think that's because she freeformed them. But before we go into her locks, make sure to subscribe to this channel and give it a thumbs up if you enjoy it. The person that I'll be reviewing today is none other than Ladene Clark. She's a model and a fashion designer, and to be honest, if I look her up online, there's not much that I can find on her other than all of the pictures that always come up each year at Afropunk festival in Brooklyn, New York, which is where she's from as well. Let's get into it. So this photo is definitely the first photo I saw of her. The first time I saw dreadlocks, as crazy as this as well. You can already see here that her dreads have these almost rope-like structure to it. They're very, very loose in a sense. But the shape of her locks tells me that she hasn't really been palm rolling or maintaining or using a crochet hook. They look very uniform and they look like they have not been tampered with. I can imagine that she pulls them apart just to make sure it doesn't grow into one huge dreadlock. But as you will see in the next photos, her dreadlocks have not always been like this. If we go to the next photo, which is from the same photo shoot, I think this was featured in Vogue. You can see how awesome this woman is. I mean, look at what she's wearing, her style. She is definitely one of a kind. And I can't imagine how heavy her hair must be. If you look at this top knot, it's bigger than her actual head. So I figure this must be a huge weight that is on her head in this case, and otherwise hanging from your head, especially when it's wet. So the next photo, we can see her from the back. I think that if we would count her dreadlocks, it would not be more than 20 dreadlocks. And you can see that there probably were parts once upon a time. If you look at her ear, and just behind her ear you can see something that resembles a part. I'm not sure obviously, but I think that she did start them off maybe as regular dreadlocks or as smaller freeform locks, and eventually they just all merged together. You can also see it in the top left corner. You can see smaller dreadlock coming from the big one, and it looks like these were 3 dreadlocks not too long ago. Then we get the photo that is from Afropunk. Again, I think she's such a fashionable, interesting woman. It looks like she really has her own style and she's not afraid to combine anything that she likes. Here again, you can see behind her right ear a part. You can see that this dreadlock at the bottom has a part. I think she does maintain them in some sense. She pulls them apart. And again, the rope-like structure of her hair is really apparent here. You can also see that the sun has bleached her locks a little bit because the roots right at her scalp are way darker than the locks that are tied on top of her head. They are a bit lighter. Here is the first picture of her having her locks down. You can see how long her locks are. I think that this lock is even coming to the back of her knee. This is insane. And here you can also see that she doesn't have a lot of locks. I think this is probably a quarter of her hair and it's only 4 locks, 4 huge locks. And again, you can see at the bottom that this was originally more than 1 dreadlock. So then this is a picture I found which clearly shows that she had way more dreadlocks to begin with. I'm not sure if this is a really long time ago, but because you can see her locks are way shorter, I would say there's about maybe 4-year difference between the picture we saw before and this one, because here they just come down to her waist and then the other one is more like down to her knee. You can see that she had way more dreadlocks. The ends are clearly defined and she has a lot of congos going on. If I look at her ends here, I would say that she started them off maybe even fully manicured, so fully retwisting, and because the ends of her locks here, they look blunted, and I do know that locks over time, even if you don't blunt them, the tips become blunted, but they look just so uniform and neat. I think she started her journey off not freeforming and then later on decided that she was going to freeform. So here we have another picture of her with her hair down, and obviously this picture is quite recent because it's already super long, and here you can also see that less locks show the original dreadlocks at the ends. So there are a few which are blunted as well, even though they are this thick. Maybe she did that on purpose, maybe it just ended up that way, but there are still a few Congos with the original dreadlocks at the ends. This hair, it looks so amazing. I wish I could feel her hair because I can imagine that they are not very tight. Like regular dreadlocks, they become really tight when you keep retwisting them and keep palm rolling them because the hair keeps growing more and more together. Even the people who use crochet hooks, that's actually the process that they go through. They put the crochet hook through the hair, through the dreadlock, and then pull hair back in. So it becomes tighter and tighter. And here I can imagine that her hair is really loose actually. It has formed this one dreadlock, but it's, if you touch it, you might be able to like feel a sponge-like texture. And I think this is also because if you have freeform locks, you don't really put much stuff in your hair because that's the idea of freeforming. You just let your hair go. Maybe she uses stuff, natural stuff like coconut oil or some other oil. So I'm gonna end this video with a few pictures of her work. Like I said, I was not able to find a website of her actual clothing line, but when I did Google her and looked on Tumblr, I could find a few of her pictures with her own brand. So these are the knitted garments that she makes. And here you can see her sitting on a chair, her hair tied up. That's basically how she has her hair in most of the pictures. Then here in the next one, you can see that the skirt and the vest are knitted as well. Here is like a yellow dress knitted from top to bottom. It looks really cool and it really suits her style. Here her hair is more like a crown type updo. You can see that there are a few dreadlocks in the back that are hanging down her back. And then this is one of the last pictures I wanted to show you. Here her hair is up in a tam, like a dreadlock, a woven type of tam that you can put on your head to put all of your dreadlocks in. Most people with really long locks sleep like this, or they put it up in a bun and then they put a tam over it. And you can see how much her hair fills up the tam. This thing is probably huge, and I cannot imagine having locks that long and then I can fill up a tam like that. And the last picture I wanted to show you is this one, because here you can see Ladene Clark with the next guy I'm going to be reviewing. His name is George Wright, and you maybe have seen him on Instagram and on YouTube. He has a dope set of locks as well. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Yeah.